Hello and welcome to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be taking another look at Football Manager 2022. Now, our last episode we looked at the inside forward on the right of our Gegenpress system, and today we're going to be looking at the opposite, at the left-sided inside forward. Now, I do recommend watching that previous video, as it went into some depth explaining, the certain traits and attributes that we want from our inside forwards, and exactly the same is going to apply to our left-sided inside forward. The only difference being is that we're going to be looking at right-footed players as opposed to left-footed players as before. We'll take a quick reminder just of what an inside forward is. So with an attack role, our inside forward is someone who's going to aim to cut inside from the flanks and run directly at the centre of the opposition's defence, and works best when the player's strongest foot is opposite to the flank he's playing on. Movement can open up space for overlapping fullbacks and overloading a defender. And within attack duty, they're going to run directly at the defence with the options of shooting, passing or crossing as he moves into the final third. So very attacking player, and someone who's not going to be getting up to the corner flag, more someone who's going to get the ball in this kind of wide left area and make a beeline for goal, like directly. And he's either going to take a shot himself or set up our striker. So the first thing we're going to do is look at a player who is probably the best inside left forward in the game, and that person is Kylian Mbappe. Probably to no one's great surprise. So he's someone who plays very well in this position, and we're going to look at the sort of attributes that make him very good in this role. Again, these are going to be exactly the same as they were for the right-sided inside forward, so we'll run through them fairly quickly. First of all, pace and acceleration, and at 20 and 20 out of 20, Mbappe is probably the most rapid player in the game. Agility and balance also very high. Someone who's going to stay on his feet. He's going to be able to get round fullbacks quite well, especially when allied to the dribbling trait here. Someone who is going to, just run with the ball very well directly at goal, skipping around defenders. Finishing at 17 is also very high for this type of inside forward, so he's going to be very much a goal scorer first and probably a creator second. He's got very high flair, 18 out of 20, so he's going to be doing the unexpected, pulling off little moments of magic. His first touch and technique are both very, very high as well, so he's going to be able to collect the ball and, allied with his dribbling and agility, to sort of skip away from defenders. And when it comes to striking the ball, strike it very sweetly as well. His anticipation and off the ball are both very, very high, which is excellent, and as is his composure. So he's going to keep a cool head in and around goal when he's taking shots or setting up chances. And sort of lastly, really, more of a by-the-by for this type of player is the passing, which is very good still in Mbappe's example, and his vision as well. So he is going to be somewhat of a creative player as well. Like he's chiefly a goal scorer, but he will be able to set up some as well. Now, interestingly, when it comes to Mbappe at the beginning of the game, as in real life, in this 21 to 22 season, he is in the last year of his contract with Paris Saint-Germain. So once it comes into, say, the sort of December towards the January transfer window, you're going to be able to put in, see here, it says exploring his options at the end of his contract. You'll be able to put in an offer to sign him on a free. So despite the fact his price tag is, probably one of the highest in the game, up to 255 million here, there's a chance if you're playing at a Man City or Real Madrid or Liverpool, or someone who is going to be competing for the highest honours and has a good budget as well, that you could get this player for free. So that's worth pointing out. In real life, he's just signed a new contract with PSG, so I suspect in FM23 that's no longer going to be the case. He's going to be purchasable for probably around £300 million. But in FM22, definitely, if you're one of those top teams, maybe look to sign him on a free. So we're going to go now from Mbappe to another player who is someone I like to tend to buy. He is fairly expensive, but it's going to be worth it. And that's Jamal Musiala. So he's at the age of 18. He starts off the game playing for Bayern Munich in Germany. He has got German nationality, but his second nationality is in fact English. He's started out at Chelsea. Didn't play for them, but before moving on to Bayern, probably around the age of 15, 16. So he moved over very young. And if you sign him at the beginning of the game, that should mean that he's actually going to be, by the age of 21, hopefully a homegrown product for English Premier League teams. That's something to bear in mind as well. And if we look at him, he's got pretty good pace and acceleration, agility and balance also very high, very good dribbling, very good finishing, First touch and technique, both very high flair. In fact, that's as high as Mbappe. Good determination as well, just to sort of push through challenges, and combined with the agility and dribbling, he's going to be good at skipping around people. And passing and vision are as good as Mbappe as well, in fact. The slight question mark against him perhaps is strength, but in the position he plays, that's not really a major concern. And I'm going to put up a slide now of showing what he's going to look like in a few years' time as he continues to develop. And as you can see, he is going to be very good indeed. Now, it's very changeable, really, what you can get him for. In my game, I signed him fairly early on for around the £65 million mark, when I think I was playing as like a Liverpool at the time. But in other games where I've started off in lower leagues, I followed his progress still, and he tends to be signed up around the sort of 23-24 season. For over £100 million. So that's an idea of how much his value is going to explode as he develops. Now, from very expensive to very reasonable, I'm going to skip now to another player who is, and again, forgive my pronunciation, but it's I think it's Adam Hlozek or Hlozek, something like that. He's a Czech player, currently playing for Sparta Prague, 19 years old. Again, right-footed, wonder kid here, and he's someone who is very quick, very agile, good balance. He's got decent dribbling and finishing. Passing is not great, but again, we're looking more for a striker, really, who plays on the left as opposed to a more creative type. Very good flair, anticipation and off the ball are pretty good. There are sort of some stats he's quite low in, but again, I don't think there's anything that we need really be that concerned about. And again, I'm going to put up a slide now that shows what he's going to be like in a few seasons' time. And he's someone, again, who develops very well. And even beyond his stats on the screen, whenever I've signed this player, he's just immense. I mean, he is an absolute legend when it comes to goal scoring. So very highly recommended. And with Hlozek as well, you'll be able to sign him around the beginning of the game for probably around the £7 million mark. So, very reasonable to lower Premier League teams or even Championship teams potentially if he's willing to join. We're going to look at another more expensive player now, but someone who's played very well for me, who is Rafael Leao, who at the start of the game is a Portuguese player playing for AC Milan in Italy. He's already 22, so he's a little bit older than the likes of Hlozek and Musiala, but he's already a very good option, and he's already quite expensive. But very good pace, very good agility and balance, very good dribbling and finishing. First touch and technique are fantastic, as is flair. Anticipation and off the ball are pretty good. So yeah, he's the full package really when it comes to the sort of inside left position. Again, he's right-footed too. Now it's quite variable the sort of price you can get him for. Here at the start of the game for Milan, he's actually around the £77 million mark. But I've had a game, I think it was possibly at the end of the 21-22 season, where I got him for around £40 million, I think. I'm not sure why his value had come down like that, but at this sort of price tag, I'd imagine you could probably get him for around £80 million, and you can maybe put some quite heavy add-ons onto that as well. But he's very much worth it, very good player. We're going to turn again to the more sort of bargain end of the spectrum, and the next player we're going to look at is Amine Gouiri, I think is how you say that. And he's 21, so a little bit younger than Leao, but a little bit older than the likes of Hlozek. And he's probably a bit more of an all-rounder, really. He's decently quick, decently agile and good balance. He's actually got decent jumping and heading as well, which is not bad for one of the inside forwards, because I've noticed they do get on the end of a fair amount of crosses. That's a nice thing to have. Dribbling and finishing very high, very good determination and flair. Anticipation off the ball very good. Again, the technique and first touch fantastic. So I will put up a slide of what he's going to look like in a few years' time as well. And, you can see again that he's someone who develops pretty well. And within your game, it's a little higher here than what I have had at the beginning of my games. I've been able to sign him for around about the £6 to £12 million mark. Probably may need some add-ons on top of that, but yeah. He's in his second season at Nice as well, so they should be open to selling him. And yeah, he's a very good option. Runs with the ball down left into opposition area, cuts inside from left wing, so his player traits are very nice as well. And finally, we're going to go from the more sort of bargain bracket to one of the most expensive brackets in the game, but still worth pointing out. It's Ansu Fati at Barcelona, who can actually play on the right as well, but he is right-footed, so I think for an inside forward he would work better on the left. He's very quick, very agile, good balance, very good dribbler, very good finisher, lots of flair, very determined, anticipation and off the ball, very high. Passing and vision are okay, so he's going to be more of a goal scorer probably. Very good technique and first touch too. Moves into channels. He's someone else who places shots, so he's going to be more of an accurate, low power sort of finisher as opposed to someone who's blast the ball, but it means that he's going to probably get more on target that way. Runs with the ball often is a nice trait for a dribbler to have, and cuts inside from the left wing as well. So we're going to show up a slide of what he's going to look like in a few seasons' time, and it's no great surprise that he's going to continue developing and be one of the best players in this position in the game. Now, at the start of the game, he's perhaps a little bit undervalued, I think, anyway, which means that you could probably get him for around the £70 million mark. And the longer you wait, that's going to push up towards the £100 million, I would think. Okay, so there you are. Those are my suggestions for inside left forward position in Football Manager 2022. Hope that was useful. If it was, please feel free to hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel as well. And in the meantime, I'll see you next time, where we're going to delve into the centre of midfield and look at some of the player roles and ideal players for those roles in the Gegenpress system. So thanks very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.